On behalf of the University of Mary's President Monsignor James Shea and Interim Director of Athletics Dan Huntley and the rest of the U-Mary family, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for your support, and personally welcome you to today's game between the Bearcats of University of Cincinnati and your University of Mary Marauders. So the puck is pushed down to the U-Mary end right after the opening face-off, and we've got another face-off in the U-Mary zone. Bearcats coming out here firing as they've got now 2 shots on net. One of them a simple cover-up for the goalkeeper in Kyle Hayden in the second now, just moments ago. A blocker save that ended up in the high netting for another face-off on the other side, this time, of Kyle Hayden. Blast from number 3 of the Bearcats sails wide of the U-Mary net. And University of Mary able to push the puck down into the Bearcat end. Not obtaining any sustained pressure quite yet. As the Bearcats yesterday talked about this on the air, looked a little bit tired, I'd say, toward the end of the game. But surprisingly, Bearcats coming out here with a lot of energy this afternoon. And there is a stoppage of play on the ice. Not entirely sure what the call is, but the face-off is going to be to the glove side of the goalkeeper Cosby, who was very strong last night for the Bearcats. He stopped, I believe, 47 of 52 shots, if memory serves me correctly. And yes, indeed, looking on the Go U Mary website, 46 of 52. I guess it was 6 goals against, so 46 of 52 shots. So he had a busy night last night, and we'll see if he's got fuel left in the tank today. So a save made by Cosby as we speak of him. To the point now, Ryan Wolf gives it down low to Garrett Freeman. And back up to the point, the puck goes. Shot attempt by Nagurski. Freeman jousting with Bearcat player number 24. And they do get a shot on net, a nice stop made by Cosby. That last shot for the Marauders was put on by Seth Cushing. Cushing with goal number 4 for the Marauders last night. And offsides is assessed down on the ice level. A couple players to keep an eye on for the Marauders here seems to be that Alex Fleechek has had a hot hand recently after maybe, I don't know if you consider it a slow, but compared to previous years, maybe a little bit slower offensive contribution from Alex Fleechek than he's used to, but last night having 2 goals and at least 1 assist. I think he may have assisted in a goal or 2 that I wasn't able to write down. But Seth Cushing also seeming to heat up a little bit as far as the U-Mary offense is concerned. Here's a shot on by Scanlon, almost tipped out of the air by Braden Zast, who had a goal last night as well. Zast now working the perimeter, spins around and decides to cycle it down low with a little help from Liam Massey. Witzke over to Lennox. Lennox looks toward the net but decides to bank it off the sideboards and around the back of the net and hopes for some help from his forward line. Here come the Bearcats now, 1-on-1. That's number 3 against Drew Lennox. Shot on. And a group of players run into the net, bringing it off its moorings. And we've got the drilled-in pegs here at the Starion Sports Complex. So it takes a bit of special effort to take those nets off, but somehow they do. And we get a stoppage of play down on the ice. Face-off in the neutral zone, which indicates that the referees felt that the Bearcats maybe were the causation of the net coming off a bit more than Marauders. I know both teams probably were in that group of players who ran into the net, but now we have Drew Lennertz joined by Johnny Witzke for a bit of support up to Tucker Cruz. Cruz stretch pass finds Jaron Huglin. Huglin with a nifty move onto the backhand and lost it just briefly. Otherwise, folks, there could have been a pretty good opportunity for Huglin, especially after that nifty in between the legs move that he demonstrated on that Bearcat defenseman. But he does lose the puck and a nice easy cover up and whistle for Cosby. Here's Isaiah Thomas. Remember Thomas with the game winner last night, coming through the high slot area. And UMary unable to keep it in the Bearcat zone. Across the blue line come the Bearcats, and a big wrist shot fired toward the net by skater number 22. That's Daniel Beebe. And he had fire in his eyes there as he loaded that wrist shot. Unfortunate for them, ended up hitting UMary's skate. Fired on to the net is number 10 for the Bearcats. And a great A opportunity from the slot. Kyle Hayden steps out and cuts off the angle to make a nice key save. Another shot on net through traffic. Stick save aside by Kyle Hayden. And now here come the Marauders. Here's Petrie looking to the net. Backhand, fires it on, hits the shoulder of Cosby. And the puck is cleared. University of Mary wasting no time to come back once again. This time, releasing a nice little wrister is Isaiah Thomas. It goes high and wide of the net. So it does not count as a shot on, but certainly a quality scoring opportunity. University of Mary buzzing here. Shot on by Teddy Lilico. Hits a guy and finds its way into the corner. Now back up to the point. Lilico keeping it in. Through Fleechek and back up to Lilico. Here's Scanlon walking to the top of the circle. He looks toward the net, fires on. I don't know if Cosby got a piece of that or not, but it goes wide. Scanlon's going to try again. Shot on, and these Bearcats know how to block shots, folks. Block shot after block shot until finally Scanlon, perhaps more out of exhaustion than anything else, fires one on net, and it's gloved down by Cosby. So we've got a stoppage down on the ice. That was earned by Cosby as he keeps the puck, gets a whistle for his players. And again, we asked, consider how much gas is going to be in the tank for these Bearcats as they spent a lot of time defending last night. So far, they have been solid and energetic. Shot flipped in on Hayden. That's a routine save, if not for the bouncing puck. I think Hayden actually played some baseball in high school, and I'm not entirely sure what position, but if he had any experience as shortstop or others, he's had some practice at that bouncing puck. Coming down the other way. Shot high and wide of the net once again by the Marauders. Freeman. Cross ice, soft dump in. Seth Cushing finally gets a handle on it. And the Bearcats getting harassed by the Marauders on their breakout. Finally, they do get the puck out of their zone, but just out of the reach of Gerard Neerman. So the Marauders regroup with their defensemen. Stretch pass from Ryan Wolf to the intended Liam Massey, and Massey unable to extend his go-go gadget stick far enough to avoid the icing call. So fans, we want to remind you again that we've got the Buffalo Wild Wings Blazing Minute here at the Starion Sports Complex. Again, I did pose the question, which I still don't have an answer to. Maybe I need to make myself a note. I'll do that now. Not sure if you can take a photo of that scoreboard online if they were to pan to the scoreboard. But if the Marauders score a goal in the first minute of any period, they'll receive 6 free wings at any Bismarck Buffalo Wild Wings location the next day. All you have to do is take a picture with your phone of the scoreboard when the Marauders score in the first minute of any period. Present that picture to any Bismarck Buffalo Wild Wings location the next day to get your free wings. And as I've said before, I tried it and it works. It's one of those deals that seems almost too good to be true, right? But the wings were free and they were delicious. And while we've got a little time on the ice as the referees deliberate with captains, let's go ahead and thank a few of our sponsors. First, Tires Plus. They're total car care top dealer when it comes to automotive maintenance. Stop by in their South store on Expressway and check out what total car care they can do for you. Tires Plus, they're proud partners of the Orange and Blue. And the University of Mary would like to thank Prairie Farms Dairy for their partnership of the Orange and Blue. Marauders fans, are you ready to open your eyes to a credit union? First Community Credit Union is the largest community credit union in the state, and a special thanks to FCCU for their partnership of Maximus and Max's Mini Marauders. And so, we have a Marauder in the penalty box, and now the Marauder goes from, that's Liam Massey, he goes from the penalty box and now off the ice. And so a 5-minute major penalty called on, assessed on the University of Mary. As Massey skates off the ice, we'll assume that's an ejection. And we have a different Marauder player in the box to serve for that. And so it sounds like that was a 5-minute checking from behind, which would maybe explain the Bearcat player that was on the ice for a bit. That's a 5-minute checking from behind penalty assessed on Liam Massey, and that gives the Bearcats a 5-minute power play. Be reminded too that if they should score, that does not nullify the 5-minute penalty. That 5-minute penalty will continue on until it expires, despite any goals scored, which is, of course, you hockey fans almost certainly are aware of. In most minor penalty, 2-minute penalties, if the power play team scores, then that penalty is nullified, but not in this 5-minute scenario. So a great opportunity for the Bearcats and an opportunity for University of Mary penalty kill. I recall last night that one of the 6 goals scored by the Marauders was on their penalty kill. And I guess I cannot recall if how many goals were scored by the University of Cincinnati on a power play. But certainly, again, a great opportunity for the Bearcats here if they were to score and strike first, of course. Certainly an advantage to get that momentum going. Here's Tanner Escrow driving on his backhand. He fires one on, and a nice save by Cosby, who stepped in that overlap position, does a nice job of squaring up and challenging the shot. Marauders sail the puck all the way down the end. They've ticked off about 1 minute 30 seconds of that 5-minute major so far, but they got a little ways to go. Now carrying the puck for the Bearcats is 25, George Zimmerer. He rims it around the boards, and Hayden coming out to stop it with a key play. Dishes it over to Johnny Witzke, who fires it down all the way down to the Bearcat end. Bearcats are going to try again here, led by number 3. Crossing the blue line, he looks toward the net and decides to cycle it down low to a line mate. That's Steven Straffon, who was the puck carrier there. Bearcats trying to settle the puck down in their offensive zone. Get it over Straffon, then over to number 2, who looks to the net. Backdoor sails a bit wide and off a skate, and the Marauders able to clear the puck. Certainly a back and forth game here this afternoon. Certainly one would be reasonable to claim that this 5-minute power play has played a significant role in that back and forth nature, but both teams having some opportunities. I'd say the offensive opportunities still favor the Marauders so far, but there's 2:15 left in this power play for Cincinnati. Here's Anderson for the Bearcats, crossing the blue now up to the point. Shot on and a big save by Hayden, who not only makes the save but contains the puck, and as a goalie coach, love to see that in your goalkeepers. Making the save confidently and controlling the rebound. So Hayden does that. It's going to result in a face-off to the glove side, won by Umeri. Scanlon trying to get it out, and a bit of puck luck in skipping over the defenseman, number 25, George Zimmerer's stick, and out of the zone. In the meantime, penalty is committed, this time by number 22, Daniel Beebe. So Beebe in the sin bin, feeling shame, I'm sure. And now we've got 4-on-4 down on the ice. So what was a one-man advantage for the Marauders will now be even strength 4-on-4, and Marauders, well, I don't know if it'll be significant, but we'll have 7-second power play if no one should score before then. Johnny Witzke through the neutral zone. He finds Petrie. Then Petrie to Thomas. Thomas back to Witzke, and Witzke gets hung up by a couple of Bearcats. Bearcats regrouping. Off the stick of Spencer McDonald to avoid the icing. And here comes Witzke. Witzke to Fleechek. Fleechek now across the blue, looks to the net. Shot, and it's off the side of the net. A lot of offensive power on the ice right now, including Witzke as a very offensive-minded defenseman. We've got Caleb Petrie and Alex Fleechek along with Isaiah Thomas. So I'm anticipating that there could be some nifty puck movement and potentially a goal here on their shift. Here come the Bearcats led by Steven Levasseur. And now Isaiah Thomas on a breakaway. Thomas in on the net. Deeks left, Deeks right, and somehow Cosby gets a toe on that save. So a pad save Cosby, as he looked almost dead to rights on that one, somehow creates a save. So a hats off save to Cosby on that Thomas breakaway, keeping the score 0-0. Marauders full strength. Now the Bearcats full strength. And that's that 7-second advantage that we're talking about. And so we got 5-on-5 once again. Here we've got Teddy Lilico from the point, slap shot on, stick save by Cosby. And 7 seconds remain in the first period. Score, well, it's scoreless, 0-0 so far through the first period. And we get a stoppage, which I think resulted from an icing. So we'll be facing it off in the Bearcat zone. And while we do that, we'd like to thank Cedric Field Toyota. Cedric Field Toyota has been a proud partner of Marauders Athletics for over 10 years and prides itself in customer service. When you need your next vehicle, stop by Cedric Field Toyota and tell them the Marauders sent you. And family owned for over 50 years, Star Young Bank is rooted in its rural values in which it began. Star Young Bank, proud supporters of the Orange and Blue. So the Marauders looking like they're on more of a power play here for the last 20 seconds than they do even strength, but matter of fact, it is 5-on-5 hockey down below. A big hit placed by Andy Huber sends Steven Straffon down onto the ice, but a clean hit as gathered by no referees, limbs in the air. Andy Huber in the corner looks to the front of the net, backhands it to Derek Dropik, who fires the puck wide of the blocker side of the goalkeeper for Cincinnati. Centering pass once again finds its stick of Tucker Cruz. Cruz trying to go for the backdoor play as Derek Dropik was set up and ready, but the pass not quite on target and forces the Marauders to regroup. Now we've got an icing call. The University of Mary staff are not happy about it as Cosby came out of his net to play it, which according to ACHA rules should nullify that icing. And so Coach Huntley and his staff making sure to cite the rules there and the referees. It's good to see that they acknowledge the right call, bring the face-off to the neutral zone. Center ice face-off now. Marauders with Cruz, Zast, and Hughlin for their forward line. We've got the Lilico and Scanlon defensive pair back behind. A little touch pass from goalkeeper Hayden to Scanlon. Scanlon up to Hughlin, who gets stripped of the puck and forces the Marauders to regroup. Here's Lilico up to Zast. Zast gets his pocket picked and trying to gain the blue line, his own blue line that is. Now here comes Hughlin across the offensive blue line, up down the right side and looking to the net. He gets checked hard and losing that puck possession. Marauders able to gain it back. Not for long as Daniel Beebe headmans the puck up to one of his forward teammates. And number 16 for the Bearcats. A shot on and a save made by Hayden. Bit of a rebound in front that the Marauders are able to clear. And now the Bearcats get into offensive work. Shot on by number 24. That one blocked. They're going to try again as a nice block shot in front. Teddy Lilico gets hooked not once but twice. And we see a referee now with the delayed call. He ends up picking up on that penalty assessed on Spencer McDonald. I'm going to go ahead and predict it's a hooking call. So 2 minutes. Hooking puts the Marauders on a Shields power play. That would be the first true power play for the Marauders tonight. Face off in the Marauders' offensive end. It's drawn back to Witzke. Makes me have some positive flashbacks of the Witzke Alex Fleetcheck one-time goal last night, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to redo that play. Witzke up at the point, over to Fleetcheck. Fleetcheck looks to the net, shot, and it's a goal. Fleetcheck. I don't mind if I do say that I called it. Witzke to Fleetcheck, one touch, and Fleetcheck shoots the puck low and on the blocker side. Bada bing, bada boom, just like yesterday. That's goal number 1 for the Marauders. Fleetcheck from Witzke. And just like yesterday, that's also a power play. As I write down the goal stats here, it almost looks like the same sheet of paper. Power play goal, number 1, 11 from 27. Marauders lead 1-0. And so Fleetcheck, now leading the rush, tries to reciprocate the favor over to Witzke, as a Witzke deflection doesn't quite elude goalkeeper in Cosby, so Cosby makes the save and snatches it out of the air to give the guys a face-off in the Cincinnati end. And so the referees deliberate with Seth Cushing of the Marauders about what I'm not sure. I think there may have been some shenanigans occurring behind the play, but I was not able to see those myself. And looks like we're going to get coincidental penalty. So we got a Marauder, and a Bearcat in the box. And it'll be 4-on-4 down on the ice. So 4-on-4 once again. As we saw last night, the Marauders seem to have a bit of an advantage, even though it is even strength or equal strength. With that extra ice, the Marauders' team speed seems to come in handy. But once again, this Cincinnati team opportunistic, and you just never know when they're gonna jump on an opportunity to tie it up. Here's Seth Cushing. He looks back door to Tanner Escrow, who clanks it off the left post and into the Cincinnati net. For goal number 2, University of Mary. And Tanner Escrow grabbing the puck after that goal. Well, let's see if we can make some sense of why that might be an important one. Yes, that's the 200th point for Seth Cushing, which once again puts him in an echelon that's kind of hard to even fathom. So Seth Cushing assisting that goal that was scored by Tanner Escrow, and congratulations to Seth Cushing for his 200th point in his career. And in the meantime, again, I'll have to apologize to the Bearcat fans out there. I missed some of the action. For the Bearcat goal number 1, which I did get the name this time. See here, I'm getting better and better. Scored by Daniel Beebe and a miscue from the goalkeeper Kyle Hayden. And Hayden miscommunicates with his defenseman, or vice versa, or maybe some sort of combination of the two. And a rolling puck bounces over the stick of Hayden and ends up right in the crease for a tap-in goal by number 22, Daniel Bede. That's going to go unassisted. And as masterful as Hayden is playing the puck, every once in a while there's going to be some collateral damage there. Not something that that Hayden wants to see, of course, or the team, but I guess this is just my goalie coaching philosophy or perspective here. It's going to happen once in a while, and hopefully the collective benefits of playing the puck and being that third defenseman back there outweigh any goals against that it might cause. But indeed, a goal against is the outcome of that misplay, and so we've got a 2-1 game now as Cincinnati, again, just an opportunistic team. So across the blue line comes skater number 12, Steven Lavasser. He fires one wide. And Bearcats, once again, coming across the blue, this time getting the puck turned over, and the battle in the neutral zone ensues. Just under 1 minute left here in the first period. Kyle Hayden out to play it once again. To Witzke, then up to Zass. Zass now trying to beat one last defender, and he does. Fires it on the net, and a stop by Cosby, who hangs on. So again, a similar type feel to this first stanza as the University of Mary scores the first 2 goals. And just when they think they might be pulling away, Cincinnati pops one in, cuts the lead in half. Tucker Cruz walking the middle, pulls the puck back and gets hit hard. Cincinnati back the other way, attempted shot on by Will Lemmink. It hits the shin pad of a U-Mary player and finally pops out into the crease. Into the slot. Shot on, goes just wide of the net. There's another close call here. The Bearcats buzzing as they get 1, 2, 3 shots on goal. They make a final push in these remaining seconds. 5 seconds remain. Now the Marauders trying to get a shot off before the buzzer. Blocked by number 13, Spencer McDonald. And the horn sounds with accompanied by fireworks on both ends. Result of the first period, 2-1, Marauders. And a scoring recap. First goal of the game was scored by the Marauders on a Shields power play. That's scored by number 11, Alex Fleechak, and assisted by Johnny Witzke and Isaiah Thomas. Then, with a few minutes remaining in the second period, goal number 2 was scored by Tanner Escrow, assisted by Seth Cushing, who achieves his 200th point of his career here as a Marauder. And shortly after that, a misplay between defenseman and goalkeeper ends up with the puck in the back of the Marauders' net for goal number 1, Cincinnati. And that brings us to the present score of 2-1 in favor of the University of Mary. So stick around, folks, as we have head coach Dan Huntley, who will be joining us here for the first intermission. Per the usual, I've got a couple topics I'm excited to talk to him about and gain his insight while he makes his way up. We don't know exactly who the guest is going to be in the second intermission. I know we had Father Wolf here yesterday, which was a lot of fun. That was the first interview we've had with him, and I don't know if we'll make that a regular thing or if that's just going to be a treat every once in a while. But it'll be a surprise guest speaker or plural guest or plural guests in the second intermission. And see Coach Huntley coming through the hallway here, so we'll get his microphone set. We'll be back with our interview with him in just a couple seconds. All right, Coach, how are we doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good. I'm going to start off with the most recent event. We have a bit of a miscued play by goalkeeper and Kyle Hayden, and a bit of momentum going, kind of similar to yesterday. In fact, let me rewind for just a moment. I thought I had deja vu with the Witzke flea check goal. I said, hey, we got this pairing out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another one-timer. And it wasn't quite a one-timer, but a nice
put it in the skates, and but he recovered and kicked it out to the stick, and had a nice opportunity to shoot. So
yeah. And then another opportunity to talk about a special player in Seth Cushing, who just this period achieved incredible. It's kind of incomprehensible to me, but his 200th point as a
guy in our history in 5 years, and Matt Garrett and. Marshall, no, I don't even know who the other one is now. I'm drawing a blank.
Probably
Fleechek. How can I forget that guy?
Yeah.
Fleechek and Zach Garrett, and we've got a lot of things that I think in the next few weeks are going to start to go through some change, and that's a great accomplishment for a great scoring forward that has come here and done great things for us, and he's got more to come. He's got one more year that he's going to come back next year, and it's exciting for us to have him, and he's going to look at trying to break some of those records that Fleechek has put up, and see where he ends up at the end of the year. And if Seth can stay up with him and be within striking distance next year, it'll be tougher playing a D1 schedule, but you never know what can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, talking about player accomplishments and so on, I always love to get your insight on this. So, 2-0, kind of building some momentum, getting the lead. Then Kyle comes out and plays that puck, misplays that puck, a little bit of miscommunication between the D. We've had a few close calls with some of his puck playing recently, and it ends up in the back of the net. Talk a little bit about the dynamics there. I know we talk as a coaching staff about we want our goaltenders playing the puck possession and all the good things that can come of it, but that it can result in a goal once in a while too. So what did you see out there, and what are your thoughts on just goaltenders playing the puck in general?
Honestly, I didn't see the play at all. I was talking to guys on the bench, and all of a sudden I see that he's laying on his butt, and we're skating back to the bench. So I don't know what happened. I'll have to look at that later. We want them to play the puck when they've got confidence, when they have time and space, not when they're going to be rushed, because they have to find their way back to the net and get in a position and realize where the puck went, and there's going to be puck movement. Teams are smart enough to move puck from side to side, and if they get turned around, we're in trouble. You can see that every level up to the NHL, and so it's we had some real miscues during the Waldorf trip, and cost us a couple goals, and that was time to kind of up in Botno as well. He just Kyle just had I think he's trying to do too much. He's as a two-time All-American, as a National Player of the Year, Tournament MVP, all these accolades. You can kind of feel like you can go do whatever you want, and things are going to go your way, and you still have to realize that there are small things that got you there, and you don't have to break us out of our zone. We're better off with him in the net and being a goaltender than just being a guy that breaks us out and makes passes. So if we have the opportunity and there's time and space on a line change, some of those things he can get behind the net, stop the puck. Those are the things that he's got to figure out and go back to be effective and efficient. And then when he's trying to do too much and there's crowd and space, then he's got a terrible stick to make passes with, and he's got bad gloves, and it's not easy, and it's not an easy play anyway. So we just got to figure that out, and he's got to figure out where that happy medium is. Yeah. And if he gets there, then it's going to be okay. And if that's the one mistake that he makes today, then we'll take that as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hey, Coach, we want to play the puck too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would say, I don't know if you agree with this, but it's one of those things, don't play the puck just to play the puck. Play the puck with a purpose.
Yes.
And I think maybe, since you said you were doing some other things on the bench at the time, but when the defenseman is able to get to the puck first, they're a little better at stick handling than we are with a big clunky stick. So just finding that good balance, but certainly Hayden, a lot of fun to watch playing the puck. and I'm sure he'll make that adjustment. But we find ourselves in a 2-1 game with this program again. My personal predictions was that they looked a little tired last night. They played a lot in their D zone, blocking shots and just working them hard. I didn't know if they would have the energy to come out this period, and they did. They came out with quite a bit of energy. They had a 5-minute penalty assessed against Massey, which of course probably pumped them up a little bit. But they're coming out here and then giving us a game again. What do we got to do in periods 2 and 3 to maybe not have a repeat of tomorrow night?
Well, we play 5-on-5, get the puck deep. It's some of those small things that we talked about before we came out for that first period is early in the game, just get the puck over the red line, get it in deep. If we've got an opportunity to skate the puck in, skate it in, but if there's congestion, dump it in and go chase. We took an icing right off the bat, first play of the game. We've got a dump in just outside the blue line, and you've got an 85-foot wide rink, and we dump it right into the defenseman. Now that turns the puck over. They've got the puck. We're going one way. They're quickly coming the other way. It's a 3-on-2 back the other way because we can't find 83 other feet. It's just simple breakdowns of how we can be more efficient and effective, and you have to think. You can't just go and I'm just going to do this and dump the puck here and it does matter. And all those little plays put the puck behind the goal line, and they got to go 195 feet to beat us instead of 75 or 80 feet. Now all of a sudden the transition period of those things is much easier for other teams, and we could get caught on the line change with our defensemen or other things when they think the puck is going deep and they turn around and go to the bench, and then we've got a slow change and guys are in transition. So the game becomes a lot more difficult when you don't have those small plays happen. There's going to be turnovers. There's going to be 100 turnovers a game. It's just where do they happen, and how do you react to those turnovers is the biggest key. So
absolutely. Well, it sounds like you got a thing or two to tell the guys in the locker, so I don't want to keep you too long. We'll end on a little bit more lighthearted note. I have a question that came up in the broadcast today. The Buffalo Wild Wings Blazing Bin. Yeah, it's awesome. I've tried it. I've taken a picture. I got them. The wings were free and they were tasty. I think they taste a little better when they're free. That's good.
Goes down with a good Diet Coke.
It does. So I had a question come up in my mind. If somebody's watching the broadcast and they pan over to the scoreboard in the first minute, can they take a picture in there?
Yeah, no doubt.
Phenomenal. Look at that. You've heard it from interim athletic director himself, Dan Huntley.
Yeah, you got it.
And so, get those phones out, because hopefully in the first minute we got an opportunity for the Blazing Minute.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck. All right, Coach Dan Huntley, talking a little bit about the special players and Seth Cushing joining the ranks of those like, joining the likes of, lost my train of thought here, Alex Fleechek and Garrett as well, guys that have kind of put their name up on the wall in that 200-plus points, and also talking about what we got to do to have a little bit more success than yesterday in the second and third period against a very strong team in Cincinnati that just doesn't ever give up. So a lot of fun to hear his perspective. We've got the puck shot down below on the ice, and so while they finish that up, we're going to take a short intermission break. We'll come back with the second period in a 2-1 game as the University of Mary leads the University of Cincinnati. We'll see you then. We are underway. Period number 2 here between the University of Mary and University of Cincinnati. Score is 2-1 in favor of the Marauders. And the updated scoreboard depicts a 13-11 advantage in shots, Marauders. So the Marauders here early in the second stanza with a couple of shots on already. Another shot just a moment ago by Garrett Freeman. Hits a couple bodies in front of the net. Not quite making its way to the goalkeeper in Cosby, but Seth Cushing does place a shot that makes it on net. And a stop made by Cosby once again. Garrett Freeman rims the boards. And the Marauders try to keep it in here as they get knocked off the puck several times by the Bearcats. Here come the Bearcats now across their blue line, sticked aside by Ryan Wolf. And a puck dumped in, takes a kind of a precarious bounce off the backboards. But no harm, no foul there. Saral Nagurski now, shot on net. And an easy stick save made by Cosby, who decides he's going to hang on for a whistle. Face-off is won by the Marauders. Now back tipped in, and a pad save made Cosby. Able to clear it out are the Marauders. Now back regrouping. And an almost earned breakaway by number 27, Max Williams of the Bearcats. Gets sidetracked by the Marauders' defense. And a back and forth play here. Slap shot goes wide of Kyle Hayden, the Marauders' net, as he was almost certainly screened by a defenseman in front. That could have been goal number 2 for Cincinnati if the puck would have been about a foot further to the right. Bodies flying. And finally, here come the Marauders the other way. Andy Huber up to Jake Murray. Murray, a wraparound attempt, and can't quite get it to his line mate. Puck is cleared to the neutral zone. Here comes Johnny Witzke. Across the blue, looks in the net, fakes to the outside, dekes around, and a save made Cosby. As Johnny Witzke just ran out of real estate there. Tried to pull it to his backhand and reach the far side post. There's just not enough time and space. We talked earlier about the 200-plus point club, and again, Seth Cushing makes it into that elite club, which doesn't have a lot of people in it. Alex Fleechek and Zach Garrett, the only other two to previously do so for the Marauders. So again, a congratulations to Cushing, and he has another, this season, and it sounds like another season to go to see what all he can achieve. Here comes Jaron Hugolin down the side boards. Hugolin wins possession of the puck now to Nagurski. Nagurski shoots the puck on net, and it's tipped by Braden Zast. And up into the high netting it goes. .43 in the second period. As the score remains 2-1, University of Mary pulling away a little bit in shots on goal, 18-11 now. Face-off is won back to Cincinnati. as the Marauders keep that puck in their offensive zone. Finally, Cincinnati clears it, but a bit too far, and that's going to be an icing call on Cincinnati. Take this opportunity to thank a few more of our partners. Folks, make sure if you're looking for a fun weekend, you consider Prairie Knights Casino and Resort. It's waiting for you to come out and play. Enjoy the feast of a rock buffet or an elegant dinner at the Hunters Club. And as I was reading there, we got a goal for the University of Mary. Sorry to say that I wasn't paying enough attention to see how it exactly happened, but I know who made it happen. And it looks to be a goal by Isaiah Thomas, assisted by Caleb Petrie, and we'll see if we get a second assist there. But an important goal to give the Marauders, or double the Marauders, I should say, lead here this afternoon. And that is an unassisted score, or goal, excuse me, by Isaiah Thomas. And again, Thomas putting the Marauders up now 3-1. Thomas had one goal yesterday, which was the game winner, goal number 6 for the Marauders. And here again, another important goal that doubles the lead, as I mentioned earlier, making it 3-1 Marauders. Here's Fleechak trying to find Petrie. The Marauders with a little bit of a added pep in their step. Puck is rimmed around the boards. Hayden comes out to play it. And an icing call on the Marauders. So let me try again here. For Prairie Knights, the Marauders fans looking for a fun weekend, Prairie Knights Casino and Resort is waiting for you to come out and play. Enjoy the feast of the Rock Buffet or an elegant dinner at the Hunters Club. Play blackjack or enjoy the over 700 slot machines. And if you're having too much fun, stay the night in one of their lodge's comfortable rooms and suites. So the only question left is, do you feel lucky tonight? Puck is headmanned up to Alex Fleechak, who crosses the blue line and attempts a drop pass to Garrett Freeman. It is pickpocketed. Here comes 16, Nathan Rajecki. Rajecki to the backhand. Shot on net, a stick save made by Hayden, who hangs on for a whistle. So a nice little play there. And one of the better scoring opportunities by the Bearcats. Shot goes wide of the net, bounces off the back wall, and another shot attempt by the Bearcats is a elusive one, as it had the potential, I thought, to squeeze through the post and the body of Hayden, but Hayden doing a nice job at ensuring a seal on the post. Through the neutral zone, a couple bodies collide. Ends up on the stick of a Bearcat. That's number 21, Will Lemmink, who fires one on the net. Glove save Hayden. Hayden plays it out. Gives his forward line an opportunity to get a shot all their own on the net. That shot by Tanner Escrow. And I'm a little bit confused here, as save was made by Cosby, who hangs on, but the face-off is coming all the way down to the U-Mary end, and now I see why that is. We had a flashing call by Garrett Freeman. So the Marauders are going to be on a penalty kill here. Power play for Bearcats, 5-on-4 for 2 minutes. Kyle Hayden comes out to play the puck. Fun to see that he is not at all tentative in playing the puck here, even after getting the only goal that the Cincinnati team has scored tonight has been on a miscued puck handle from Hayden, but he comes out, does a nice job at playing the puck up to his line mate. A beautiful backdoor pass by Witzke to Huber, and a fantastic save made by Cosby. Gosh, that's got to be one of the best saves of the game, of the series, I'd say. And maybe it was hard to pick up on all the nuances of that save made by Cosby, but an absolute heads-up play and an athletic one to boot for Cosby on that save. Cincinnati keeps the puck in, but only for a moment as the Marauders shoot the puck down the full length of the ice. Cosby out to hand it off to his defenseman, 24, Dylan Marks. Marks up to Booth. Now Booth crossing the blue line, looks to the net, centering pass, and some nice help from Alex Fleechak. Prevents a shot on net. So 15 seconds remain here on the Bearcat power play. And the Marauders wanting to see if they can get one of those ever-elusive power kill goals. But full strength are the Marauders, but not for long. As another penalty is assessed on Teddy Lilico, who I saw it happen, but I mean I don't want to speak too much about it. I thought it was maybe a little bit of a weak call there, as you know, Lilico did push a player a little bit away from the net. The player went down, but you know, you got to be strong on your feet here too. And I'm not convinced about that penalty. But the referees, you know, they certainly are more educated about these things than I am. So we'll trust their call. So the Bearcats go on another power play for another 2 minutes. Isaiah Thomas down the right side looks to the net, shot on, and a hard one at that. Save made Cosby, and scrambling in front is a bit of a battle for puck possession between Petrie and Cosby. Cosby wins as he covers up the puck, and Cosby's defensemen come to his defense as they push and shove on Caleb Petrie, who was sniffing around the crease trying to find that loose puck. Here's Cushing now, right in front. Shot and a massive glove save by Cosby. Cosby putting on a clinic here, in my opinion. You know, Cushing, he's a very good stick handler, and he has a phenomenal shot, but it's like Cosby had a crystal ball there in predicting exactly what Cushing was about to do. And how I describe Cosby is, you know, he's not the world's most, this is just my opinion as a goalie coach, but not the world's most technical goalie, and not maybe the quickest in the world, but he's got incredible anticipation of the play and goaltending IQ. Here comes Cushing once again. Can he solve Cosby? And he cannot. Cosby making a nice save with the pads as Cushing was trying to go 5-hole there. Cross ice pass to Isaiah Thomas. Thomas around the net. Now we've got a delayed penalty on the Bearcats as the referee holds his hand high in the air. Kyle Hayden off the ice now provides an extra attacker for the Marauders. So it's actually, with the extra attacker, it's 5-on-5, but they do indeed have an extra attacker on the ice. Puck is up in the air, and finally, Cincinnati is able to touch up on that puck for a whistle. So with 33 seconds left on the Lilico penalty, the Cincinnati Bearcats will send number 27 to the box, Max Williams, for a 2-minute penalty, of which I actually did not catch in my time. But we've got now a 4-on-4 for just under 30 seconds. The Williams penalty, as we're updated here, is a 2-minute slashing call. So 15 and 15 seconds, the Marauders have around a minute 30 for a power play all their own. Isaiah Thomas trying to move the puck over to Johnny Witzke. Witzke gets pickpocketed, and here come the Bearcats. Number 22. Daniel Beebe drives wide and on the backhand. Now Alex Fleechek, shot attempting through the legs of the defenseman. Here we go the other way, number 10 for the Bearcats. On a wide drive, shoots the puck, clanks it off the crossbar. That's Elias Aiden. Now a 3-on-1 the other way for the Marauders. They don't get any kind of a threatening shot off anyway on that 3-on-1. And Hayden playing the puck down to Fleechek. Fleechek's going to try again as the Marauders have 46 seconds remaining on their power play. Lilico up to Scanlon. Now Scanlon moves it down to the corner in Tanner Escrow. We're going to have a little switcheroo with Escrow and Lilico. Lilico pulls the puck to the left-hand side, aims it toward the net and off the right post and in. That's goal number 4, Marauders. So right out of the box, Teddy Lilico with a vengeance. Bit of a give and go, Tanner Escrow. Lilico slides down low and just outside the left face-off dot, fires a wrist shot off the right post and in. And again, I'd say every goal is important, but it did seem that Cincinnati, once again, sort of hanging around. Every goal for the Marauders is a bit of insurance that they do get the win here this afternoon. And I'll have to check that here. What I thought was an assist by Tanner Escrow was announced an assist by number 6, Riley Scanlon. So Teddy Lilico from Riley Scanlon for goal number 4, a Shields power play goal for the Marauders. Now we have a score of 4-1 with 7 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second period. Here's Tucker Cruz down low, joined by Jaron Hugelin. Hugelin to Cruz. Cruz spins around trying to find Zast, but not before the Bearcats flip the puck up into the neutral zone. Shot once again by Elias Aiden. Sails high and wide. Aiden with a nice wrist shot. Just can't seem to hit his mark, but he's had a couple opportunities with breakaway speed, as he demonstrated now a couple times. Jaron Hugelin through the neutral zone finds Tucker Cruz. Cruz chips the puck in and gets a line change. Hugelin, the only one remaining out on that forward line, finds Cyril Nagurski. Nagurski shot blocked in but not through the shin pads of a Bearcat player. And we've got a bit of back and forth on the sidewall as both teams vie for possession. Here's Murray. Drags it to the forehand and shot. That one's blocked. Murray behind the net. You thinking about a Michigan? Nah, not so much. Nagurski, another shot on. Nobody able to get a stick on that one, so routine save for Cosby. In the corner once again, Andy Huber kicks it out to Ryan Wolf. And a shot on, stick save, as Cosby elevates the puck with some speed off the high glass. Puck in the neutral zone. Shifted over to Isaiah Thomas. Derek Dropick now looking for the net. He's hoping for a little bit of help from Andy Huber on the back door, that puck skips over Huber's stick. Shot on, hits the side of the net, and the Marauders doing work in their offensive zone. Another penalty assessed on the Marauders, this time against Andy Huber for roughing. And the Marauders don't like that call. I think they might be feeling a little micromanaged here. With Marauders play a physical game, and the referees, well, apparently feeling that it's a little too physical. We'll take this opportunity to thank a few of our sponsors. Marauders fans, stop by Valvoline Instant Oil Change located at Tacoma Avenue for your next service. Stay in your vehicle, and while the professionals take care of your oil change and vehicle inspection. Here comes Seth Cushing, driving wide and ends up around the net. He cuts back and meets one of the Bearcats, who turns the puck over and up to a line mate. Now here's Johnny Witzke, joined by Seth Cushing. It's a 2-on-1, folks. Down the left side, Witzke over to Cushing, but Witzke shooting a bit of a saucer out of the reach of Seth Cushing. 2-on-1 does not materialize in any measurable way. Now here's Isaiah Thomas. Beautiful move between the legs, shot, and almost a goal on Cosby. Thomas with a beautiful move, beating a defender. Then once again, with very little time and space, pulls it through the leg. I don't think he got quite as much on that shot.
Therapy is your first treatment. If you have advanced non-squamous, non-small cell lung cancer, and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene, Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer. It can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment, and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme type.
We've talked before, the power kill, I guess would be the term we talked about before. And speaking of that, here is Caleb Petrie with a breakaway on the power kill. He shoots low blood and finds the back of the net. Goal number 5.
To your chest area or nervous system condition.
And Petrie with a deceptive shot and a smart location. That's a goal scorer's goal right there. As so many players like to try to go high on goaltenders, just above the path.
The GMC Sierra with hands-free driving.
Those are tough to reach for most goaltenders, and then you get a goalie to move left and right, opening up that 5.
On a clear, crisp winter morning, the girls! Commands like HA and G echo through the winter air.
It's very difficult plays to produce, so like I said before,
The girls! For these Siberian Huskies, those words mean left and right, and it's all the encouragement they need during the dog days of winter. As soon as I pull those snow hooks, pull the anchors, the quick release, we're off and running. You'll hear a sound out of it. Jack Christopher is the owner of Silent Run Adventures and the leader of this pack. He gave up a desk job for a sled. I'd rather do this. And companionship. Oh, we didn't forget you. I built my first dog team basically out of rescues. They're very friendly. They do great with people. Some of them are a bit shy. Just not when they're ready to go. Yeah, put her on the second spot there. Jack now has 26 Siberians. Some weigh 80 pounds or more. Their strength and durability allow them to trek through Arctic conditions, though this team spends much of its time on Minnesota lakes.
The number one mushroom rule is always dogs first, so they always get watered and fed before I do.
Jack has plenty of help with that.
This is my dog Rocket. He is a rescue. I rescued him back in March.
Stephanie Dreyer is a self-proclaimed emotional support human for the dogs.
The bond that we're making, working together out on the sled it's something else.
Proof that the phrase man's best friend applies, even on the frozen tundra.
I want them to see how much their dogs love what they're doing. They get very excited to go.
John Lordson, CBS News, Monticello, Minnesota.
Well, that is the CBS Weekend News for this Sunday. Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, Anderson Cooper sits down with Rick Rubin, considered one of the most successful music producers of all time. I'm Jerika Duncan. We thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.
From youth athletics to the pros, everyone has an opinion about how safe they are.
Think you know? I put points on the board to tell you what's the most dangerous sport in America.
Monday at 6 on Local 12 News.
The Tri-State sees a lot of severe weather. At Local 12, we get to the point. We bring urgent, honest forecasts when you need it. And that's why you keep turning to Local 12 and making us the weather authority.
Ever had trouble getting out of the chairs? MedMart can help with the largest stocked inventory in the USA. And product solution experts standing by. Finding it difficult to enjoy your independence? MedMart is your medical equipment solution experts. Give your loved one their independence back. Visit MedMartOnline.com. MedMart, so you can.
Thanks for making Local 12 the most watched news in the Tri-State.
Brings the puck back as Kyle Hayden.
Breaking news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast. This is Local 12 News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Well, this is the night we've all been waiting for. We're less than 2 hours from kickoff in the AFC wildcard game as the Cincinnati Bengals host the Baltimore Ravens in their first game of the playoffs. We have live team coverage for you both tonight at the Banksworks building for the big game, of course, and inside Paycor, where the Bengals and Ravens are about to clash.
Plus, heads up play.
Our team in the storm zone times it all out. The desperate scene unfolding in Ukraine, a miracle in the rubble, 20 hours after what Ukrainian authorities say is one of the worst attacks yet on civilians.
That's a cool element of hockey, I would say. The delayed penalty and some of the creativity that comes with it, and pulling the goaltender for an extra attacker, etc. So, fun to see the players demonstrate their hockey IQ, namely Alex Fleechek in that play. So Dylan marks 2 minutes for hooking for the Cincinnati Bearcats. Gives the Marauders, or will give the Marauders a bit of a man advantage here if and when the Bearcat advantage, or excuse me, the Marauders penalty expires. But that'll happen all in the third period as the buzzer sounds. That signals the end of the second period. And the score now 5-1 in favor of the Marauders. Both teams with the man in the penalty box. And so again, stick around for the second intermission interview. Kind of like this. Most of the time I know who's coming up, but the last couple games I haven't. So it's a bit of a pleasant surprise for not only you, but also for myself, and has made for some interesting interviews. So stick around here in the second intermission for our surprise interview. And for the Marauders fans who are here in person, or I guess the Bearcat fans who are here in person as well, going into the third period, I want to just remind you of the legendary beverage Buck a Goal discount. For every goal your Marauders are leading heading into the third period, you get the same discount in dollars off your next adult beverage at the Legendary Beverage Concessions. So with your Marauders leading 5-1, for an example here, fans, you'll receive $4 off your next adult beverage now until closing. Yeah, that's right, $4 off. That's got to be a pretty inexpensive beverage. So be safe and responsible, and thanks to Legendary Beverage for your support of the Marauders. And here in the second intermission, we also want to take an opportunity to thank Tires Plus and Valvoline Oil Change for sponsoring the Chuck-a-Puck here in the second intermission. After the ice is sand, well, fans will have an opportunity to throw their puck and get a chance to win $25 in their oil change voucher from Valvoline Instant Oil. So when you get a chance to join us next time here in person, go ahead and buy a couple of those pucks and see what you can do in trying to get it closest to that center face-off dot. So we have the good pleasure once again of having Father Wolf here for our second intermission interview. And he told us a little bit yesterday about his role at the University of Mary, as he is the chaplain for all University of Mary athletics. Sounds like a busy job in trying to support the athletes on the university, and not only their athletic formation, but their personal and spiritual formation as well. And so as he catches up with a couple people here, he puts on the headset any moment, we'll hopefully get some more insights, and maybe he'll even give us a lesson on, my hope is he'll give us a lesson on one or two of the virtues he talked about yesterday. So we're going to get him mic'd up. And here we go again, Father Wolf. Here we go again. I was hoping this would happen, and I'm just going to go ahead and will it into existence. The regular virtues with Father Wolf. That's great. But let's start with your thoughts on the hockey game here tonight. We've got a team that yesterday gave us a run for our money. A little too close for comfort in a 6-5 narrow victory for the Marauders last night. Today was very close once again. We're up 2-0. A little bit of a miscue by our goalkeeper in Hayden, and a little miscommunication between him and the defense. But the guys now increasing the lead 5-1. What's been your perspective of the game so far this afternoon?
Well, I thought bouncing back here in the second period was really good, important for a few reasons. Like you said, there was a miscue at the end of the first period, so not letting that snowball.
Yeah.
I cannot confess to much hockey experience personally.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yeah, exactly. But I do know across sports, limiting mistakes and not letting them become second, third, fourth, fifth mistakes is important. So I was impressed by that. And then in comparison to last night, the second period has really started getting the game close after we had an early lead. And today we were able to extend the lead in the second period rather than let up. And kind of let them back in that. So
absolutely.
Happy with that.
I'll have you move your mic just a little closer to your mouth, because I know you're going to be saying some important stuff here coming up. One thing that I like seeing as a goalie coach for the university is seeing that after a mistake that Kyle Hayden wasn't afraid to go out and play the puck again.
Right.
You make that mistake and he's coming out and he's doing his thing, and that was fun to see.
Right. Kyle seems to have a good kind of confidence that's capable of enduring a mistake and bouncing back, and short-term memory loss when it's needed is important too. So yeah,
absolutely. Well, so I'm going to piggyback off of that. We talked about let's just use for an example the ability to kind of bounce back and have courage to do the things will contribute to the team or cause greater than yourself, etc. Remind us about, because I'm fascinated with this stuff, virtues and my faith is important to me, and philosophy and psychology, and how maybe all that interfaces. But remind us again about is there 6 6 core virtues or cardinal virtues?
There's 6 virtues we focus on. There's 4 cardinal.
Okay.
And then there's 2 more what we call growth virtues.
So tell us about those, and then and if you would, maybe key in on one of them, and give it and elaborate a little bit, if that's all right with you.
I would love that. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. The only problem is getting me to shut up, but it's time, so just give me the signal. Caca.
Well, let's say when the puck drops, you see the puck drop, that's it.
It's time to move on. No, just to list them off as kind of a background, I guess, the cardinal virtues are prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude. You can fit in some synonyms that mean mainly the same thing when break it down. Wisdom, again, justice. Self-control instead of temperance, and then courage instead of fortitude. Okay. That would be kind of the scheme, and they're meant to kind of summarize those virtues in particular. They're called cardinal, not after the bird. They're called cardinal from the Latin cardo, which means hinge. Okay. And so there's all kinds of hinge, like a door hinge, exactly. Yeah. And so these are the virtues that are pointed out as kind of being at the core. There's some dozens of good human characteristics that build virtue, that enhance life, that enhance relationships. Yeah. But if you wanted to summarize and dig down and get to the root of them, they're going to be connected to one of those 4 in some way. And just to briefly run it down to kind of give you an idea of why they're a picture of human life and the good life. Prudence would involve taking action, but in an intelligent way, being thoughtful about the direction that you're taking and why, and being capable of applying like moral principles and life principles and experience and advice and all those dynamics in human life, and applying them to your life and taking a direction because of that. Justice would. Did you say, just to pause, did you say prudence had a synonym of wisdom? Okay, exactly. That makes sense. Oh yeah, exactly. And I got a lot to say about prudence and wisdom, so we could get into that more. But just again to give you the cardinal virtues and how they summarize the good life, the whole human life. Justice would govern relationships with others and with society and even with God. So justice has this gives a person a disposition where they take responsibility and take ownership, and they're faithful in their relationships. They give to others what is owed to them. They give them respect. They give justice to their truth. You know, honesty would be an aspect of justice. Gratitude. Right? So justice would govern even like relationship with parents and having gratitude and appreciation for them and what they've given, and then what I owe them. We can never fully give back to our parents that they've given to us. Life, even with flaws that parents sometimes have, but certainly to give them our gratitude, our appreciation, and our respect is a big part of it. So any dynamic of relationships and what's owed and taking responsibility, justice would take a role in that. And as I mentioned, even to God, right? So certainly if we can't give everything to our parents in return to what they've given us, it's certainly true of God as well. So we can give them, again our gratitude. We can give them our worship. And to praise Him as well, and we can give our lives in service to Him as well. That would be a part of justice as well. Next would be temperance or self-control, and that would kind of govern like within oneself. It would govern like our impulses. The kind of modern terminology is impulse control and psychology, that kind of stuff. That would kind of get at the idea, and it's just kind of recognizing like our biology and evolution. Actually doesn't always care if I'm happy or not. You know, it plays a role, but there's if you wonder whether like just pure biology makes us happy, go study like wolf packs, since my name is Wolf. They kill each other. You know, Mother Nature has her way of working, and there's a reason, but human life has this added dimension that makes us humans, it makes us unique, and we can go after higher goals. So temperance and self-control wouldn't just be willpower, it would be like directing my whole self, including my impulses and feelings and emotions, towards the higher goals. It includes being able to enjoy life. One who is temperate and has good self-control experiences enjoyment and satisfaction, but in this beautiful ordered way that lends to the higher goals of life. And then last would be courage or fortitude. That's pursuing goods when they're difficult. And so I won't go into lengthy explanation in the interest of time, but
hey, that's a great overview, and you know, forgive me for my ignorance, but So I've been, my faith has been something that's been a part of my family and something that's been important to me my whole life, right? And it's certainly a journey and so on. Recently, this is more of a question than a statement. Recently, I've been kind of stumbled upon this idea of Stoic philosophy. And it's interesting to me that there's kind of one thing about Stoicism as I've just started to kind of learn about it. It sounds like it's a philosophy and so on. One of the questions I've wondered is, can it live with Christian faith? Does it complement it? Is it competing with it? And so on. Well, one thing it seems to be that there's these virtues in Stoic philosophy, right? And again, I'm no expert. I just like the tip of the iceberg here. But that I always thought that was kind of cool because there was kind of a list of sort of like fruits of the spirit or something. I'm kind of a list guy. It helps me kind of order things and prioritize things. And so these virtues are kind of remind me of a similar thing. This is just to answer my own personal question. Where does that kind of interface, or does it compete, and that's like too much to ask for our one interview here, but
I have like 17 points to make in response. It's a beautiful question, and it's a question that gets to the root. So number one, because of our fallen human nature, we do have to recognize there's a certain like tension between there's a certain tension between our inclinations. Like the way God created us is to be like perfectly inclined towards the good, and towards God and how to serve Him and to know Him and to love Him. And we don't always experience it. And so there's a certain tension that kind of comes up, but it's because of our fallenness. Not because of anything on the part of God or what He's asking us, So to the extent that we experience tension, that would be why. The next thing I would say is there's a great general principle to describe how just our human realities we experience in our human nature and grace interacts, and it's in Latin, so I'll say it. I won't use Greek, but I'll use Latin. Okay. It's gratia naturam perfecit, which means grace, complete nature. And so the way that God works with us, He's our creator. Right? He's our designer, and so He knows your human nature because He designed it. And so like the way that He works with us through grace is to complete and elevate it, not to deny our humanity. We just had at Christmas, and this is part of the deep meaning of the incarnation and Jesus taking on flesh for our sins and our salvation. Like He takes on human nature in order to raise it up. The way that the fathers would have it is God became man to make men into gods. Like to divinize.
That sounds good to me.
Deify. That's really the word that they use, to make us like God. Of course, not that there's more than one God, but and to make us like Him. This is really basic too. Like you think in friendships, anyone that you would spend time with or get to know and start to love, you start to like the same jokes. You like the same movies. You share these hobbies, and there's this way of interacting. Married couples and all this. My grandparents could go hour-long trips in perfect harmony without saying much. There's a certain likeness that happens between friends, and so if God calls us to be friends with Him, why wouldn't we become like Him? And He does so by elevating us. A last thing that I would just say about hey, Stoicism and faith and whatever. Number one, I would say there is another set of virtues you could call theological virtues, and they are faith, hope, and love. Right, and so they're like human virtues, in that they're habits that we can build, skills, if you will, that we can build and work on. But they're the specific things that elevate our nature and relationship to God, to know Him, to desire, which would be faith. That's to know Him. That's the skill we develop, and to hold on to what we know when it becomes difficult and confusing. I don't start trading out what I know about God when challenges come, because it's constant. God can be trusted. Hope would be the skill where I build up learning to trust in His promises and therefore to desire Him and what He has to give. And then love would create a unity with Him. Last thing. St. Paul, it would seem if you read it in his phrases and his terminology, he knew about Stoicism.
Oh, interesting.
And St. Paul always takes these things and fits them into a Christian framework rather than Christian framework being fit into the Greeks. He makes Greeks fit into what he knows to be true about God. But certainly he knew how to use the Stoicism. The word stoa, it doesn't mean not feeling, it means porch. So it gets its name by where the people who taught this, where they stood, which was on a porch teaching.
Yeah.
And it seems St. Paul in his language at least knew about it and integrated it himself. So.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. A couple quick comments as we transition to the ice about this. What a well of knowledge, you are, a wealth of knowledge you are.
Of stolen knowledge.
It's fun to hear about that and learn about it. Second thing is, I like how we restricted the amount of Greek you could speak, so you went Latin on us. I mean, that's fantastic. So we'll transition back to the game, and you can stick around on the air as long as you want if you'd like to color up the commentary. But thank you so much, Father Wolf, for joining us, and again, hopefully we can continue to.
We'll talk about prudence next time. We'll throw the teaser out there. We're going to dive into prudence. I got some good images we can share. There's your teaser, everyone.
There you go.
Just like the real professional.
So, folks, you can do some homework if you want to do some homework before, just to have a little bit of base knowledge. But that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, that's Father Wolf. What a pleasure to speak with him. Thanks again. And hopefully we'll have more of his insights as the broadcasts continue on. I got to come up with a clever name for virtues with Father Wolf or something. There's got to be a better name than that. But we'll come up with something. So back to the on ice action here. University of Mary finds itself on a power play as remember both teams had personnel in the penalty box, and now just the University of Cincinnati does. So 20 seconds remaining on the University of Mary power play, and they'll see what they can do here at a 5-1 lead. As Father Wolf had mentioned this, there was a similar lead the University of Mary had yesterday, perhaps a little bit earlier in the game, but somehow Cincinnati found a way to come back and tie it up at 5-5. So University of Mary's test here today, this afternoon, or I suppose we're getting closer to this evening, is to defend the lead. And so, maybe a question that comes to my mind was mentioned in the locker room by head coach Dan Huntley for the Marauders earlier today. It's something about how the goal differential in a game affects rankings. So as you probably know, there are not only team conference rankings, but different national rankings and conference rankings, and of course wins affects those rankings. And I didn't know this, but goal differential does. I thought maybe that would be some sort of a tiebreaker. Strength of schedule is an important one, and and the like. So it'll be interesting next time, if I can recall. I guess next time is tomorrow, so plug in for tomorrow at 2 p.m. as the University of Mary plays at home and takes on University of Minnesota Crookston. Here, 2 p.m. matinee at the Starion Sports Complex. So I think I should be able to remember that question between now and then to ask Coach Huntley how exactly the goal differential affects the rankings. And so the University of Mary goes on a power play once again here. I guess the numbers on the board here, number 22 ends up in the penalty box at Daniel Beebe for 2 minutes, and I again didn't catch the details on that, but in the penalty box nevertheless, and the Marauders now have a minute 44 remaining on their power play. So the face-off to the blocker side of Cosby is one back to Drew Lennertz. Lennertz down to Escrow, tries to feed Freeman in front. There's a scramble, and the University of Mary able to gain possession once again. Tip shot in front by Hugelin goes wide of the net, as Hugelin was standing all by his lonesome. Here's Cushing now. fakes the Michigan and then tries to find someone in front, but nobody home. And the Marauders now having to regroup as Cincinnati fired the puck down the full length of the ice. Here they come once again, led by Alex Fleechek this time. Fleechek down the left side. He's on his left hand, outside hand, looking to pass, and he does. There's Johnny Witzke in the middle. Fleechek cross to Isaiah Thomas, and Petrie at the back door. Almost had a tap in, but somehow eludes him. Nice look by Isaiah Thomas. And an almost goal. Thomas to Petrie. 25 seconds remain on this UMary power play. And let's see if we get another Witzke to Fleechek goal. That would be 3 on this power play setup. That seems to complement the synergies between Fleechek and Witzke. Shot on, goes wide. That shot placed on by Caleb Petrie. Now Isaiah Thomas on the goal line, attacks, tries the backhand pass to Andy Huber, but it is intercepted by the Bearcats. Bearcats down the ice. And I believe that's an icing call since the penalty has expired. And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. So the face-off won back by Cincinnati. And Cincinnati needing to do something in a pretty bad way here if they want to have any shot at winning this game. 15 minutes, 30 seconds remain in the third period, so not a lot of time remaining in this game for them to score what would need to be 4 goals to tie it, 5 to win. And icing is the call. So with that, the Marauders would like to thank Aero Service Team for their support of Marauders. Aero Service Team, they are the clean team. And I have to give a shout out to Brock New of Aero Service Team. He's on my City League hockey team. Brock New, I know their crew does a great job. I actually have a elderly couple, friend of mine, who said that the Aero Service Team came out and just did an absolute wonderful job in restoring their home from what I believe was maybe some fire damage. I can't remember exactly what the damage was from, but I know Aero Service Team will help you get back to normal due to any kind of damage you might experience to your home. Seth Cushing now on the right side shoots the puck, and uncharacteristic of Cushing, right into the chest of the goalkeeper Cosby. Kyle Hayden out to play the puck. He rims the boards, and it finds Andy Huber. Huber met up by Bearcat number 20, Jacob Guptill. And the Marauders now establishing some puck possession in their offensive zone. Witzke over to Lennox. Lennox down to Dropic, and Dropic around the horn finds Witzke once again. Shot on by Witzke, wide of the net. Loose puck in front, and Dropic able to corral that puck. Witzke looking in the net once again. One-time attempt by Leonard is gloved down in fantastic fashion by Cosby. And once again, Cosby just doing a nice job at anticipating the flow of the play, and he just seems to be one step ahead in anticipation. So nice glove save once again by Cosby. That's going to be his 39th save out of 44 shots on goal. So has had his work cut out for him. And I'll say I think he's been the difference maker, honestly, in this game. Kind of the equalizer, if you will, in last night's contest, and then today I think a good reason why it's honestly it's not double digits for the Marauders. I have to mention this because I've had this thought several times. I'm almost certain my friend Jason isn't listening, but this goaltender looks like Jason, a good friend of mine. I won't say his last name, but goaltender that I trained in Las Vegas, now a good friend of mine, who owned a tabletop card game and board game company, of which he has sold since we met. But it's uncanny how much the goalkeeper Ian Cosby and my buddy Jason look alike. They actually got the same setup in the white CCMs and white helmet. And we might have to snap a photo of Cosby here and send it to my buddy. It's unbelievable. It's uncanny how much these two look alike. So the face-off in the neutral zone is one back and dumped into the Bearcat zone. Back up to the point, and now back to Tanner Escrow. Escrow able to keep it in, and it sails wide of Ian Cosby, who's been strong in net tonight. Here's Isaiah Thomas over to Tanner Escrow, and a shot is blocked, but kept in. Delayed penalty, as I notice here, results in a pulled goalkeeper for the Marauders. Save one, but not once but twice by Cosby, and finally Cosby jumps on the puck and covers it up to not only get a whistle, but finally get a whistle on the delayed penalty as well. So it sounds like a bit of a repeated story, but the Marauders go on a power play here again, which I think they're, as we've discussed a few times over the last couple of days, their power play is good, but their penalty kill is almost as productive here the last couple of games, as I think they've scored maybe close to as many goals on their PK as they have on their PP. So they are on the Shields power play. We've got 11 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third period. A minute 40-ish of those will be on the power play. I should say the next minute 40 of those should be on the power play. Isaiah Thomas up the ice, cuts to the middle, releases a cannon on net, hits the shoulder of Cosby. Here's Thomas over to Fleechak. Excuse me. And Fleechak trying to find Thomas once again. Mishandles the puck just a bit. He has to come out to the neutral zone to regroup. Full line change, except with the exception of Witzke. Witzke dumps the puck into the corner. Now Seth Cushing gives chase. Cushing around the world. He's going to go to the top of the slot, handing it off to Tanner Escrow, and Escrow fires it in a group of players. Escrow walks it right into the slot once again, but is collapsed on by a group of Bearcats. Would that be a litter of Bearcats? I don't know, a group of Bearcats, whatever the group of Bearcats is, a number of Bearcats are called. Maybe it's a pride. No, that's a pride of Lions. Anyway, I digress. Here comes Hugelin down the right-hand side. He gets the puck taken away from him. And the Bearcats shoot it the full length. In fact, get a shot on Kyle Hayden, who stops it and hands it up to his defenseman. Hayden hasn't been particularly busy this afternoon. 17 shots on net for the Bearcats. And really, with the exception of that miscued play and the turnover resulting in a goal, Kyle has done what he's needed to do so far tonight. Bearcats number 8, Gerard Nierman, fires one and into the shin pads of a UMary defenseman. Amazing to me how many blocked shots there are generally. You know, as a goalkeeper, we've got these big leg pads on, and it's hard enough to make the save with those. And, you know, what's even more impressive is these defensemen and forwards who are getting in front of shots and making saves with their scrawny little shin pads. So, honestly, quite a bit of respect for those players, for the courage that it takes and the skill as well to block shots. And that's coming from a goaltender. Here come the Bearcats. Dumping it in is number 17, Jack Lamlin. And the Marauders have crossed the 50 shots on goal mark. 50 shots on goal, 5 goals. So even at 50 shots on goal, Ian Cosby sits at a 90% save average. Very impressive, and have continued to gain respect and appreciation for Cosby and his game. Here's Johnny Witzke driving to the left and firing a shot over the goal. I should say firing over the Cincinnati goal. And a puck in front. Jake Murray snags the puck, drags it around, and beats Cosby. Far post. So goal number 6, UMary. So a big goal for forward number 15, Jake Murray, as a freshman. Murray, that's his first goal of his career as a Marauder. And so indeed, the first goal for Jake Murray, congratulations to him on his first goal as a Marauder. That's a big deal and a big goal. As it seems, any goal is important here against this Cincinnati club. So 6 minutes, 30 seconds remain in the third period. And the Marauders seeing if they can increase their lead. Here's Alex Fleechak as he's fed by Caleb Petrie. Somehow, puck ends up in the high netting, and it's going to be a face-off deep in the Bearcat zone. I think it's a chance to thank just a few of our last sponsors here. Special thanks to Bruno's Pizza. Make sure you log on to brunospizza.com and order a large Marauders pizza. Bruno's Pizza is offering 30% off your order when you mention the promo code UMARY. Not valid with any other coupons or specials. Bruno's Pizza. Satisfy your craving today. And folks, make sure and join the Marauders Armada. 100% of funds raised in the Armada go directly towards student athlete scholarship, and membership in the Armada gives you exclusive access and discounts on tickets and events. For more information, go to maraudersarmada.com or goumary.com. And a Marauder's shot on goal ends up once again in the glove of Ian Cosby. Makes me think about the North Dakota Petro Foundation Player of the Game, which certainly will be difficult to name today. For the Marauders, all of their goals have been scored by different players, and I don't see a lot of repeated players even on the assist list, so a very well-distributed contribution from the Marauders. I don't know if this is a thing that a player of the game could be from the opposing team, but I think Ian Cosby, for the amount I've been reciting his name and talking about him, would be, you know, in the running. But time will tell, and I'll be sure to relay that to you in announcing who this player of the game for tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me, will be. Sorel Nagurski walking in. And taking a ripper on the net and into the chest pad of Cosby. Cosby's hanging on, no rebound. And we got a face-off in the Cincinnati end. Dropic kicks it out to Lilico. Lilico back to Dropic. Then to Lilico, once again, shot on, is tipped up and above the net. Scanlon pokes it ahead, trying to find Jake Murray, seeing if Murray can double his number of goals scored as a Marauder. As mentioned before, he scored his first goal as a Marauder here this afternoon, and he's out there once again. Murray over to Petrie. Petrie, wrist shot on net, looking for 5-hole. But Cosby shuts it down. We'll talk just a little bit about the upcoming games here for you Marauders fans. After this back-to-back game against University of Cincinnati, tomorrow, Monday, January 16th, the Marauders take on University of Minnesota Crookston. I'm not sure where I got Crosby from, although Crosby, North Dakota, it's a surprisingly charming town, so check it out. I would also recommend Dakota Ritz Hockey School in the summer if you're looking for a week-long player or goalie development camp. That you can check them out online. Dakota Ritz Hockey Schools, once again, if you're interested in that. But I digress. Tomorrow, University of Mary plays University of Minnesota Crookston at 2 p.m. here at the Starion Sports Complex. And then again on Wednesday, playing the University of Jamestown's M1 team. Again, Wednesday, January 18th, 7 p.m. here at the Starion Sports Complex. So you'll have lots of opportunities to watch the University of Mary here at home in the upcoming week if you're interested. So go online to goumary.com. You can click on sports, hockey, and their schedule to find the full schedule of the remainder of the 2022-23 season. And while I was reciting those upcoming dates, Kyle Hayden had an opportunity to tally another save as he made a nice chest save and containing the rebound against Cincinnati. University of Mary working the puck down low. finally able to clear the zone is number 22, Daniel Beebe of the Bearcats. Jaron Hugelin drags the puck around a defender and flipping it up and into their zone. Shot on by Hugelin. Think may have hit a body in front. I don't think Cosby had an opportunity to make the save. But Hugelin, a Dickinson, North Dakota native, one of, I would say a small set of players who's come directly out of high school, not going on to play juniors, or college anywhere else, who has had regular time in the lineup for the Marauders. A big-bodied player with some silky hands and heavy shot as well. And just an awesome guy too. One of the nicest you'll meet. Here's Derek Dropick to Jake Murray. Murray across the blue, pulls it to his backhand, and looks to the front of the net, wraps around in a backhand shot. I thought that one might eke in between the pad and the post. The post and the pad of Cosby, but it does not. Here's Murray, find himself in the slot again, backhand, he's hooked up, and tries for that wraparound once again, as Murray apparently enjoys doing. Here's a Michigan attempt by Derek Dropick. He decides to pass it out to Witzke instead. Witzke with a shot on net hits the knee of player 13, Spencer McDonald, and McDonald limping around, finally able to limp back to the bench. Hopefully he's all right. Will Lemming of the Bearcats gets it to Daniel Beebe. Beebe crosses the blue and rips one high and wide, planking off the glass. One minute remains in regulation. Here's Cyril Nagurski up to Garrett Freeman. Freeman looks to the net. Shot on that one wide. Nagurski keeps the puck in. Freeman out front after a broken play. Fires one on and a glove save made by Cosby. Cosby now approaching the 60 shots on goal mark. Currently, to be exact, 57 shots on goal for the Marauders. That's impressive. And 51 of those being saves for Cosby. The Bearcats have shot 18 times on the UMary goal, and Hayden making 17 saves on those 18 shots. And it looks like we've got a timeout for the Bearcats. And I'm not entirely sure why the Bearcats would call a timeout here. The only thing I can really think of is, that perhaps they're going to put in one of their other goalies to just give them some time, or equipment malfunction for the goalkeeper. I'm not sure. But they did call a timeout, and it was just a quick conversation on the Bearcat bench, and the players were out once again. So I'm a little confused. But hey, you got the timeout. You can use it however you want, I guess. Face-off is one back. Garrett Freeman trying to get a shot off, but blocked by Cincinnati. Behind the Cincinnati net. And the puck comes down to the UMary end. Cyril Nagurski behind the goal. He's going to reverse a couple times, try to tick off a few more seconds. And a big hit on the side boards. Brings in the buzzer, marking the end of the game. And the score, 6-1 in favor of the Marauders. So a 6-5 win for the Marauders last night. Tonight, 6-1. And I had predicted that the Marauders would probably have a more decisive win tonight, just based off of the Bearcats probably being a bit tired from the long night last night and their travels and so on. But I think the game was certainly respectable. I don't know if I can say closer than the score showed, but there were some moments where it was quite close. 2-1 after the, I believe after the first period. And so, it could have gone either way. Could have gone like it did last night, where the game was close all the way down to the wire, but University of Mary found a way to defend the lead and even extend the lead here tonight. So congratulations to the Marauders. Congratulations to Seth Cushing in joining the 200 points club in his career as a Marauder. And congratulations to Jake Murray for his first goal as a Marauder. And again, we hope that you're able to join us tomorrow, 2 p.m. here at the Starion Sports Complex, or online as you find your normally find your UMary Hockey webcast, and we'll be bringing you the game between University of Mary and Crookston. And I would announce the player of the game, but I have not heard that from the score box. And so I guess we'll just leave it as a bit of a mystery, or maybe there isn't a player of the game, since there were so many contributors for the University of Mary here tonight. So folks, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the 2 o'clock game. And we thank you for your support of the University of Mary and the University of Mary hockey. And I guess before I sign off, they did announce the player of the game. That's the player of the game is Isaiah Thomas. So congratulations to the North Dakota Petro Foundation. Player of the game, Isaiah Thomas. And again, thanks for joining us for University of Mary hockey. Signing off, I'm Nate Spidell. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.